That was longer than a second, King. What the fuck?
I'ma be honest, it's not gonna happen.
Xfinity's garbage!
My boyfriend works for Comcast. I have to hear about the shit every single day.
Oh my god.
I don't like it either.
Well, tell your boyfriend to get a better job.
I don't know. He works on the customer service end, so. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hello.
Wow. Hello, peeps.
Hello. Mm.
Oh. Okay, yeah. I realized why my might have sounded so silent. I forgot to switch over to my main mic on the stream, so I was probably really damn quiet there.
Whoops.
Yeah.
It happens.
It's like technical difficulty there, but yeah. Let me try that again. Welcome everybody to the second episode of Gab Hominem. Which, again, got to make sure it's clear. I got to thank Krystal Laporte very much for helping me find that name. She tried to say in the last stream that she has no imagination. I say bullshit.
It's like the biggest lie I've ever heard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Apparently.
So this week around, we have four very interesting people that many of you may or may not know of, or have even had interactions with. We have Mama Luigi, Posh Oss,
Hi,
Saucy Process, and Wiki Wolf. If you guys want to introduce yourselves, I guess we could start with Mama Luigi.
oh no. Hi. Hi, I'm Luigi or Mama, whatever the hell you want to call me. I do the art for right now. I just do freelance for shit, and I also admin the honey staff, so that's a fun time.
Yeah.
Woohoo.
Woohoo!
Yay.
It's Posh's turn.
Hey guys, I'm Posh. Everybody knows me as the Yin Dad. Not only am I a chat moderator for the Honey Court, but I also own the Uwu Court, which holds the slightly infamous Uwu crew. And I am also, I guess, the leader of them. I just make sure that everybody doesn't kill themselves. So we kind of like get along.
Fair.
And I kind of fail miserably. So how about you, Saucy?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Saucy or Brandon Collier. I'm a voice actor. I also do research at a national park. Aside from that, I make stupid memes. I put them up on Twitter, and everybody here tolerates me.
I love you.
I don't know
What?
about tolerate. Only kidding, I love
I have
you.
a blood
Mwah.
feud with Luigi too.
Oh my
Only kidding, I
god.
love you.
I guess it's my turn.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hi everybody, I'm Wiki Wolf. I am a freelance artist. Been taking commissions for about 2 years now, but just recently started doing it full time. I had to quit my awful job to pursue my dreams, so here I am. I also do Twitch streaming. It's a lot to keep up with, but it's fun. So, and if you can't tell, I am a stinky furry. There we go.
Jesus.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
aren't we all deep down inside?
Yeah.
It do be like that sometimes.
Just
And
had to get that out of the way.
Yeah.
Well, either way, I'm glad all four of you guys could join me this week because last week was the names that were, yeah, maybe a little more well known. But one thing I wanted to try to bring to the light was the fact that there's quite a number of other people out there that are themselves artists, voice actors, animators, just somebody trying to start up their own thing, but all of them to some extent put up with their own degree of bullshit, and it can be easy to like kind of forget that there's still a person on the other end of that account. And so I'm kind of hoping that we can learn a little bit more about the people that kind of help out with the community that most of us are quite familiar with, that being Has Been Hotel, obviously, among other things. As has come around lately, like, would you let's face it, I'm pretty sure Ashley herself has basically grown her own community at this point separate from Hasbin.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
And some of you guys are keeping up with both of those at the same time, if not all of you. And that, I can only imagine that being a massive headache sometimes.
All the time.
Headache is such a strong word. It's more like a mild case of acid reflux.
Yeah.
We love the community. We love everybody in the community. That's kind of how we met each other.
Oh yeah.
So like we literally can't like sit here and say too much of a bad thing about it, because otherwise we wouldn't know each other as well as we do. But yeah, we definitely find people in the community that just like sometimes give us a little bit of a headache.
I'm not
That's with
super
all
active. Oh, I'm sorry.
You're good. That was it.
Oh no, it's
was
true. It is with all communities. I'm not super active in the honey court anymore because I'm intimidated by how many people are in there. But when I do hang out, it's a time. I love Ashley though. I actually knew about Ashley before Hasbin came around, but I didn't start getting super involved in her art and animation until Hasbin was a thing. So
it's for me. It's oh god damn it. Yeah.
Thank you, Lemon.
It's been a matter of I actually didn't get into Hasbin until like late February. So by the time March rolled around, I kept seeing, I kept seeing Honeycast popping up all over the place in my recommendations list, and I'm like, you got me after 5 months of this thing being out to finally click on Hasbin. I don't have time for more things, and then I think I was driving at one point, letting YouTube play in the background, and all of a sudden, the pilot finishes because, at the time I was obsessed with it. But the pilot finishes and the recommended list took over on autoplay, so it started playing the Honeycast, and then I actually hear how funny everybody is. And I'm like, God damn it! Now I have to get into this too. So
yeah,
it's
100%.
Yeah, it's definitely been fun. I've met a few people that I'm running another little podcasting now that's actually intended to start like promoting and supporting other indie creators. But I would not have met them had it not been for, basically the works of Vivian and Ashley doing as much as she could to get so many people into it. And now I'm taking my own steps into voice acting, but along the way, I've realized exactly how much, BS that, voice actors and animators tend to put up with. Like, if you guys remember The Last of Us Part 2, the,
oof.
yeah, what was the voice actress's name?
Laura Bailey.
Yes, she was getting a lot of hate from a lot of people because of the character she plays as. Yes. And I was sitting there, I'm like, what's the point? Yeah, the character's actions were objectively stupid, but there's no reason to go after the voice actors for it.
Yeah, people you can't exactly go after a fictional character, so they'd rather
But, yeah.
they'd rather jump shit and just go after the VA.
Yeah,
Voice
and,
actors are not their characters.
no,
Mm-hmm.
they're not. If that were the case, we'd have quite a public crisis about multiple personality disorder. So,
I think
I'm sitting there and was like,
just to backpedal real quick.
Yep.
I feel like a lot of people don't realize that voice actors, along with artists or just people in general who make an impact on pretty much any community, realize that they're people.
Yeah.
They're people just like you, and we appreciate things just like you, and like nobody's different in that regard.
Mhm.
I've been dealing with a lot of putting me too high on a pedestal lately, and it's become a little weird.
that's been one of the things we talked that I talked about with Krystal and Chris is putting people on a pedestal. And Chris brought up some advice that he got from his own mentor, Sydney Berger, I believe, was the one that told him this. Is that when you put somebody on a pedestal, the only place they have to go from there is down.
Yep.
Mhm. And it's a
that's-
pretty long
yeah.
for people.
Depending on how high you that pedestal is that you put them on, the more you expect from them, the more they're just going to disappoint you in the end.
I've been pretty stressed about it, not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's why I tend to not carry much expectations in anything in general, because I don't want to set myself up for more disappointment. Yeah. So to that end, I'm now trying to like explore. Maybe not like really dive into the personal lives of people in the creative industry, but try to get them to share some experiences that they're willing to share that can like just remind people, hey, I'm a people too.
Mm-hmm.
It's
A people.
I am a people.
Yeah.
I am people.
I like being.
I drink water. I pay rent. I eat. I'm just a people.
We fuck up a lot.
We do. God knows I do. God knows I do.
Correct.
Just follow my Twitter.
Jesus.
The Twitter you're hardly on.
Yeah. Wait, no. I'm on it a lot. Am I? I don't know. Anyways.
So I'm hoping that we can start with learning a little bit about like your backgrounds. Like, I'm not talking about like what schooling you got. You can talk about that if you want, but I'm talking about, like, where did you guys come from? As much as you're willing to share.
My house.
And what I want to figure out from that is how did those places that you guys came from affect who you guys are to this day?
Oof.
Yeah,
If it
It's a
had any
loaded
impact in that regard.
question.
that's cool. We could just go down the list if we want to.
Yeah.
Oh, God, no. Let's go up
Luigi?
the list. Let's start with Wiki.
Okay. We'll
I mean, I'm more than happy to talk about it.
Go
Go
for it.
I come from Oklahoma. I still live in Oklahoma. I was born in Tulsa, and I would say that going to a school that is small and not very LGBT friendly had me kind of in a spot where I was like, the only way I can express myself is through art, and I'm even getting hate for that because y'all know that furry art doesn't have the best reputation. So I was pretty shut down in school, and I told myself that I knew what I wanted to do from a very young age. I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I just didn't know how to get there, and I kept letting people tell me that I would never make it, basically. Which sucks, because to this day I still kind of struggle with that, but I didn't give up. But yeah, growing up in a small school with people who did not like me was not fun, but I kept going. I'm very proud of where I am today, but it did definitely have a pretty negative impact on me at first. Now I don't have to worry about it, so you just gotta keep going.
Gotta keep
Yeah.
going.
Okay. So, I'm from Indiana, and United States, and whenever I went through school, I did some stage acting at the time, and I was really involved in science as well. And I'm a biologist by trade. I do that as a career, and I have a side job. My kind of passion side job is through voice acting. And it never crossed my mind that I would ever be down this path. For the better, I think I went down this because one of the side effects of being in school and working a bunch is you don't have any time. You don't have any time to do what you love. I used to be really involved with band stuff. I used to play a couple instruments.
Ooh.
And I fell away from that. And it really drove me down into a really dark place for a while. And then I found other ways to get around it. Well, I could find something I do from home. So in my free time at home, if I don't have to go anywhere, I can do this. I can put myself out there. I can do that. And it's small. You take small little steps. You keep going up. And I'm nearly, like, not even near, like, where I can see this road going by far. I see some people who are amazing. They are talented. They're shooting right up this ladder. And I'm just taking it as it goes. And that's where it is. But I really think that your beginning doesn't really correlate well to where you are going in the end. And it sucks. But you adapt.
Yeah, I definitely didn't think I would make it this far.
I think a lot of us can speak that way sometimes. It's like we didn't really ever see ourselves getting here. I was born and raised in Texas, probably one of the most, back-ass states that you can for the LGBTQ showdown kind of thing. And it's just like, I'm openly bi, I am trans, and I have a family that didn't really accept me for who I am from the get-go. But the thing is the way that changed me and made me who I am is I didn't ever want anybody else to feel the way that I did growing up. So I've always made myself to be just the most open-minded person that you could come to, that you felt comfortable talking to, just somebody that you could turn to. And that kind of made me more of a community leader than anything else. And that's kind of where my foot got put into the door, is because it was so easy to talk to me that people of, I guess, notoriety, quote unquote, had an easy time talking to me as well. And I don't see them as like people to be put on a pedestal. I just think that they're really cool people.
Yep.
I made friends with Michael because I thought he was like really goofy and really fun to talk to. And he actually listened to me. He actually said thank you for my advice and stuff that I gave to him like way back in the day. I say that as if it was years ago. It was like, we're about to reach a year.
A year, yeah.
Just a single year of our crew and our little family, our little ragtag family being together. So we haven't even really known each other that long. And we act like we've known each other for like ages.
I don't know what I'd do without these people, just gonna be honest.
In the creative aspect, with my art and stuff, I've been drawing since I was like 12 years old. I'm 34. So, everything that I've known how to draw, I've taught myself. I did take art classes when I was in high school, but it was like very basic stuff. But everything else, I just kind of like learned how to draw on my own. And it's just like taking those steps and moving forward and not being afraid to mess up and get back up again is what's got me here today.
I think it's a little too easy to let your own mistakes put you down. Easy
Truth.
To fall into.
Truth.
And that's just a human thing. Like, yeah, you're gonna make mistakes, but you can't let that, just define you, because that's not really how it's supposed to work.
Nope.
Character growth.
Yeah.
We all have it.
You're going through character development.
Yeah, we all love to see it in our TV shows. Why can't we, try to... If we try to live anything from a TV show, why not just let actual growth happen to us like it does for our characters?
Right.
What's stronger than a retweet? Because that needs to happen.
A quote retweet?
A quote retweet, yeah.
You got it!
Just this, all of this.
Oh, shit.
Oh, my head hurts.
My turn?
Yes.
Okay, well, I've kind of just been all over the place. So, like, I was born in Washington, like Washington State, on the most American thing on earth, which is a Navy base.
Oh, jeez.
Oh gosh.
I think
That
I know
was
what
fun.
Navy base you're talking about. I think.
Go ahead and take a guess, because I don't even remember.
Oak Harbor?
Yes, I think.
Oh, jeez.
I think. I just know it was somewhere close to a Navy base. But, like, basically just been all over the place. So I've been to, like, I've lived in Utah for a couple of years, and then went to Texas, then came back to Utah. That's where I am now. But I think the most recent time when I had started coming into Utah and all that was kind of when I started drawing. So it was about sixth grade ish. But I think, like pretty much everyone else in the chat, I'm self-taught. So I didn't really have any classes to teach me how to, or quote unquote, how to draw, because I have a very strong opinion on that.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole thing is that I learned from just observing other people's art and being like, hey, I could probably do that. And so I tried it. So I was like, and it did not always work, but that's okay. As you live and you learn, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But over the years, I've gotten into a bunch of different media, like Has-Been, and really Has-Been has taken me places, but also I've taken myself places. Like, I've gone out there and tried to talk to people in the industry, and that's kind of how I got to meeting, Ashley and Michael, and, like, even Posh and Wiki and Saucy. Like, had that not been for me trying to, like, reach out to people or, like, talk to people I thought were cool in the community, I don't think I would have gotten this far. And I personally don't think I'm super far. I don't know, whatever. I'm choking up, my bad.
All right.
But I really am grateful for the people who have helped me get to where I am now. Because obviously it's not just me. Not one person can just do all this junk and say they've done it on their own.
That can definitely be an easy thing to mistake. Is like, I have to do this on my own. I don't want to be like whether they think it's like a burden or if it's like some kind of pride thing. Like, I have to do this so I can like have all the credit, or
And it's
like whatever it is.
It's completely acceptable, at least to me, to rely on certain people. It's okay.
Right.
Obviously not heavily rely on it. Some things you have to, like, push yourself to do. But you don't have to deal with everything on your own. We got friends for a reason.
It's important to get
Absolutely.
help when you need it.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I'm very open about about needing help or like wanting to talk, because I can't see myself doing things all by myself ever. And I'm very thankful for my friends for being there for me. If I could speak, that'd be great.
I'm gonna kiss your head.
No.
Yeah, no, I think, Luigi, just little tiny thing. I think a better way to put it, I think what you mean, instead of like in totally like relying on someone, I think you can entrust someone.
Yeah, that's what I
mean. You need to find those people where you can entrust with like that, and it's not like a total like, I'm hands-free, I'm gonna let you take care of this. It's
not a Jesus take the wheel moment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's opening two doors that have water on both sides, and it evens out. It's equilibrium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's one thing that I noticed from a few of you at least is that it sounded kind of like a couple of you have kind of opened up a little bit more, like come out of your shells since like becoming an artist or whatever the case for your individual cases. How likely would you say that would have been if you had not either taken up, whatever particular creative craft you have, or just gotten into the communities that we're all a part of?
Probably not at all, honestly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm comfortable saying that a lot of us, just in the community that we built, are very introverted. And I myself am very shy, to the point that when I was growing up, a lot of people in my school, up until like my junior year of high school, legitimately thought that I was mute.
Oh.
So, because I just didn't really talk at all. And now, like, people who talk to me every single day probably can't even imagine.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
So,
I can only imagine some of those people back then looking at you now being a voice actor and going, "What the hell?"
yeah, it's definitely opened me up personally, and not just because I got into something that I love doing, which is my artwork, digital art, being able to do voice acting and getting into that, because I'm still very new to it as well. But it's also because I had to open up connections. You have to talk to people. You
Yep.
have to get in touch with people and reach out, and not just to people who are like-minded. You have to talk to people that are on the exact opposite spectrum of you and get their point of view, because you need that outside perspective. So you learn to talk very well spoken, and just be able to speak your mind and not be afraid to.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
How would you suggest people that are like so introverted, they usually like completely like polar, kind of like trying to usually magnets don't attract in opposite direction, or they attract in opposite directions, they don't repel, but people who are so averse to like interactions with anyone, public or not, that's not exactly going to be easy for them. But what would you like suggest for people like that to try to help them to open up a little bit more?
Baby steps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It-
No. Yeah. You're gonna traumatize yourself if you like.
Well, yeah, if you move way too quick into it, it's not going to be a fun experience.
Hmm.
That's basically with anything.
Mhm.
There's not a whole lot of people who can honestly just jump into it and make themselves do it. But if you
Yep.
can, if that's easier for you, if you just want to just throw yourself all into it and just kind of like look before you leap kind of thing, make sure you have a net. Whether it be your friends or financial, your family, somebody that's going to help you pick up if things fall through. But yeah, definitely baby steps, just kind of like leaning yourself out there, maybe practicing with whatever friends that you have that you really trust, your small group, showing them your art, showing them your work, letting them listen to your music, and just listening to their advice. I am apologizing for cats right now. You are going to hear them. Garfield is not happy with anybody right now.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's really all about just putting your trust in the people that you trust. But you also got to learn how to just put trust in yourself.
Oh,
Yep.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
I know that I wasn't going into this. I was terrified. It was hard, but like I definitely had to take the baby steps. I was shy as heck. I was like, well, might as well give it a shot. and now they can't get me to shut up.
We love Wiki with all our hearts.
Ew.
I love you.
Well, Wiki, you do your own Twitch streaming now, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I remember it was like 2 or 3 days ago you were streaming Fall Guys.
I was, yes.
Which was, whenever I see that game, it's absolute chaos because it's everybody tripping over each other to cross the finish line.
Good time.
Oh yeah.
But you also do your own art, if I recall correctly.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you ever? I think you do art streams as well, don't you?
Yeah, I mostly stream commissions to kind of like keep me going because some days are harder than others, but I find it easy if I'm able to interact with people while working. Because it's just like, yeah, just have, just talk to people and get stuff done. And it's like a lot of fun. I love Twitch streaming. I've been doing it for almost a year now. And it's definitely one of the best parts of my day.
this question could go for the rest of you, but mainly I at least want Wiki to answer this one first. Do you think that if your past self were able to see you right now, do you think they would be losing their minds right now?
Oh yeah, 100%. I've never in a million years would have seen myself right here, right now, ever. I was so hard on myself back in the day. If Tiny Wiki were to say, hey, in a couple of years, you're gonna have like your own little Discord server where people look up to you and they talk to you and like you have a good time, and like it's weird because when I'm sad, I watch content creators that make me happy. It's so crazy that my streams are able to help other people be happy. I never would have seen myself here, and I cry a lot when I think about it because I'm still in this stage where I'm trying to accept the fact that I am loved and worthy of love, and like all this, it's just so much to take in. It's crazy. It's one of the best things that's ever happened to me.
Yeah. I think if my past self were able to see me right now, I think he would give the old little smirk and a thumbs up, because it's really not what I thought I was going to go for. I thought I was going for music. I was pretty good at the instruments that I played. I had stuff to prove that, and I had gotten into stuff, and it's just not the way that it worked out. But I think it's a great path, and I found something that really works for me and what I want to do with my life and everything like that. And it's given me all sorts of friends, people in this chat included,
Mm-hmm.
and I would not change it for the world.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for me, I definitely couldn't see myself here. Not even like 2 or 3 years ago, much less like looking back 5 or 10 when I was a kid, being the eldest here. Well, among these four. But just like even looking back just a couple of years, I was a stay-at-home parent. I was busy all the time. I didn't feel like I had enough time or enough energy to give towards this kind of thing. You know, taking care of communities and just being around a lot of people at once, or being able to actually do commissions as like kind of almost a career and a job.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, I only recently started getting into voice acting. That was definitely a dream for me, but it was more like a pipe dream. It was something that I never saw myself doing. And so, like, if my younger self could be watching me right now, they probably wouldn't believe it. They just wouldn't believe it.
Yep.
Yeah. No, 100%.
Oh man. Like, if I had to go back like at least a year, even, like, if you had talked to me a year ago and been like, hey, you're gonna meet these really cool people and you're gonna get better at art and people are gonna want to commission you and people are even gonna want you on your podcast. Whoa, isn't that crazy?
Right? I know.
That's meta.
You're right. But I wouldn't believe them because I was in such a state of no, it's not a job. Like, that horrible mentality that people put you in, like, no, art is not a job. No,
I'm still like
on
that.
The internet is not a job.
Yep.
I'm like, nowadays, I'm like, yes, it is. It very much is a job, and I enjoy it thoroughly.
Posh had to correct me because I was like talking about it the other day. I was like, real job, and Posh was like, what do you mean?
It
is a real job. And I was like, oh, you're right.
And this is like, okay, just have a second. This is to all you artists out there, anybody that's doing anything that's creative and thinking, or like somebody is telling you that it's not a real job. I want to ask yourself this: if you've ever held what is quote unquote a real job, tell me something. Do you have to clock yourself in, whether it's physically or mentally? Do you have to tell yourself, okay, I have to do this from such time to such time, and I cannot stop until the job is done, and only then will I get paid for it.
Yep.
If you have to tell yourself yes to that, then it's a job.
It's better to have a job that you enjoy doing anyway.
It is.
Exactly.
I had to quit my awful warehouse job. I had to. It was too much for me. And the moment my dad said, "Why don't you just pursue art?" I wanted to cry because this is the man when I was 16 years old that kept pushing me, "Get a job, get a job, get a job." And now he's just like, "You know what? Pursue your dreams, kid. Go for it." And I was like, thank you.
It's a surreal experience for sure.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
there's because I've had it a couple of times where I was like back in an old house that we used to live in, I just sit at my desk and just like casually sing to myself while I'm playing a game, and like it was obviously a joke. He just kind of opens the door, I see him, and he's just like, "Don't quit your day job." I'm like, "God damn it!" But at the time, I'm just like, "Yeah, that was kind of funny," and I know he doesn't like mean anything by it. He's just he's just poking fun. But as I look into it later, I'm just like, it takes a bit to learn how to do things without hurting yourself. And that's something I kind of missed doing, or I missed the opportunity when I was in high school for it. But the options are still there now, and I have a full-time job that can help me pay for it. I just have to actually take the step into it. Which I think is another big part of it is people are usually afraid of like, oh, I'm not going to be successful. Nobody's going to want to look at my stuff and all that.
Yep.
But it's basically just a matter of like, just draw your own thing if you're an artist and, put it out there for people to see. And then somebody at some point will ask you, hey, can I have you draw something for me? And
Yep.
I feel like that same principle applies to a lot of different things, whether it's animation, writing, voice acting, I don't know, just running your own game streams on Twitch, and somebody wants you to join like some little streaming group. Just
We started out as that, actually.
Yeah, that's pretty much us.
With Twitch streams.
I want to say like 80% of the Uwu crew streams. I stream. I know that Luigi's now streaming too. She's part of Honey staff, but she streams as well. Saucy, I don't think you're streaming yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, but like most of our group does actually stream, whether it's games or art or whatever.
I do want to say that you were talking about, getting your art and stuff out there, and you just have to, you just have to do it and see how it goes. I have a lot of people now who ask me all the time, and it breaks my heart because I don't really have a clear answer to give them. They're always like, how do you get so many commissions? I've been doing this for so long, and like, I don't know how. In a way, it kind of hurts because I'm like, well, I just do. I just put myself out there. Like, any opportunity I get, I just go because I never know if I'm going to be handed that opportunity again.
Right.
Yeah.
So I go ahead.
I was gonna say it's that just rings with something that I had talked about before, is that I'm 28 and only just getting started in voice acting. And when I brought this up last stream with Chris, he was just like, "Yo, hold on. Remember the name Wilford Brimley? Didn't get started until he was in like his, I don't remember if he said it was his 40s or 50s." And for me, it's like the only difference between me starting now and then me starting when I was 18, 10 years ago, is it's basically going to take the same amount of time, to get to a point where more people want me in their things. It just came at that later point. But starting later than never is, probably better. But if you don't have that patience to let that thing grow naturally, you're just going to end up like crashing and burning on your own, on your own emotions of disappointment.
Oh, yeah.
I try. Oh, go ahead, Mama. You were going to say something.
Was I?
Yeah, I don't remember what it was.
Oh, okay. I think I remember. The thing about, growing yourself and all this junk is like, it's different for everyone. it's not the same experience for like every artist or every voice actor.
Yeah.
Or even every like editor or something like that. Anything in the creative field, it takes time to, get your own thing going.
Yep.
Mhm.
I didn't just
However,
go. Like, it didn't just get handed to me, and I think that's a lot of what people forget to see, is that like they just see my success. They didn't see how hard I busted ass to get here. They don't see that. And like, I'm still busting ass. I am busting ass so hard that my boyfriend works, and I do my art, but sometimes bills aren't met and it's hard. And we always get, slapped in the face with like, oh, here's this surprise bill that like you weren't totally prepared for, but let's go. And so I just have to go. I just go. Like, hey, I'm opening up slots for whatever the heck. Here you go, blah blah blah. And like, I'm opening up a Patreon soon. Like, you just gotta go. You just have to. You gotta push yourself. You can't just expect it to come to you. You have to bust ass.
And it takes time.
Yeah,
it does.
That's
Takes
the
time.
important part. Don't rush it. Because that can. All I can see from my own experience in trying to do anything, that just leads to more disappointment faster.
Yep.
Yeah, and I from a voice actor side too. I know people. It's really, really like it upsets me. I see people who have been busting ass for so long.
Yep.
So long, years. And their talent is just immense. And they're getting stuff. They keep going. They're getting involved with projects through either directing or they're acting in something. But I know that they can do so much more, and I know where they're at, like what they're doing, and it's just the way the world is working, and and these people are inspiration because they keep going.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. 100%, and that's it.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. And remember, they're all people too, and they have stuff on the side. It's like, while they're busting ass doing this, they actually have to bust ass while at work as well.
Yep.
Just to like that. What? You might have discussed this before. It's not very common to have like a true professional in this industry. You have people working like day jobs, doing whatever, people bussing tables at an Applebee's or something like that, or working at a warehouse, as you said. And it takes that much commitment because that's a full-time job. And you have two full-time jobs, and you're going at it.
Didn't Dave?
And it's so respectable.
Didn't Dave say he was working for freaking like Uber Eats or something when he was still in LA?
Captiville, Dave.
Yeah,
he works at a like a mom and pop like deli.
Well,
and
now
so,
he does, but especially when he was in LA,
at the top.
like still
Yeah.
writing for Hasbin. Because I remember him talking about it a couple times, and I'm just like, in LA, are you mad?
You gotta do what you gotta do.
I've seen traffic in LA because I've been there a couple of times, especially in the last few years. Just the jokes that the locals make about the 405, it's ridiculous trying to drive around anywhere in LA. To drive around as a food delivery, professional, that's. I wonder. I honestly wonder if that contributed to the part of his depression. Honestly, or jokingly rather. But it's like, you got to do what you got to do, because in the end, yeah, your art is what you love to do, but there's still things you have to take care of to make sure you can survive on a day-to-day basis, which is not easy to do.
Absolutely.
You gotta be realistic with any job.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
I've told myself that because of how slow art is this month, I may have to pick up like a part-time job at a coffee shop or something. Terrified, don't want to do it, but I may have to, and it's just what you got to do to survive.
It really is.
Mm-hmm.
Starving artist. It's sad, but it's
absolutely
true, especially nowadays. And it's yeah,
absolutely.
Wow.
Well, and you shouldn't feel ashamed of it either.
No.
And that's where a big problem comes in, is people go into these professions thinking that they're going to make it big They're going to hit the all-time, and they're going to be making so much money. And I'm like, stop going in thinking that you're going to make money. Go in because you want to make people happy. Because you want to do it.
I 100% agree with you. And I firsthand have felt that feeling of making others happy with my content. And it is the most amazing feeling I have ever felt. And that is why I continue. I refuse to look at it like for monetary reasons or like for money. I don't care. If I can make money with it, cool, great, whatever. But I do this because it makes me and other people happy. And I love doing it.
Exactly.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, I think it's easy to get drawn in by the what's the right word I'm looking for here? I don't want to say greed is the right word, but the I guess the perks.
I see, yeah.
Yeah, because of like you can see a lot of these like A-list stars like Henry Cavill, like Madonna. You can see bands like Metallica, and who's a big band right now. Whoever it is, first thought comes to your mind. They were like a very rare exception. Yeah. When you really look at just take a look around at, I don't know if any of you are in places where any of them might still be operating, but check around at local venues where they'll hold like small concerts, and take a look at the kind of bands that they've had playing there, and you will find tons of them. It's because a lot of people, make their own bands and they want to go out and play. I work with somebody who's a good friend of my brother's, plays in his own ska band. He's the vocalist. But they're not, I don't think they're expecting to get big. They just have their own albums that they sell so anyone can listen to it, wherever they want. But they just play their shows, usually in town, and wherever it goes from there, it goes from there. But it's ska. I think naturally that just kind of comes with just wanting to have fun in the mosh pit.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
God, I love ska.
But that's kind of the main thing is you're not going to look around anywhere and you're going to find tons of examples of people who are just like doing these performances in their local areas just because they enjoy, being on the stage, being behind the microphone, being behind the, the drawing tablet or whatever the case. There's like even my friend Aiden, he's actually a part of this little group. You'll see him here as Volition. I haven't seen him worrying about, the attention or the money behind all of it. I've just he's an artist and a very talented one, but most of the time I see him streaming, it's usually just playing games and, not like complaining or talking about how many viewers he gets. He's just chilling and having fun.
Yep.
That's
what you gotta do.
Be, honestly.
I have a friend now who's getting, like I said, I hate when mini rant, but my feelings get so hurt when my friends compare their success to mine. I don't know why. I'm just like, it's not my fault. I don't know what to tell you. But I have a friend now who's way too focused, to the point to where they focus so hard on their Twitter following, they notice when they lose 1 or 2 followers. And I'm like, you can't do that to yourself. No. You cannot do that to yourself. You have to do it because you enjoy it. You have to do what you do because you enjoy it. I know it's hard, to just be like, oh, only 2 people showed up to my stream. You gotta do it because you enjoy doing it. Exactly. That's 2 people that could have been doing whatever the heck else they wanted to be doing, but they chose to watch you. And that's all that matters.
2 whole lives right there that were giving that time, which time is probably the most valuable resource to any person.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like even with your likes on your posts or whatever, it's like it doesn't affect the quality of what you make.
Exactly.
Right.
And I don't think enough artists and other people in the creative field understand that.
They don't.
Yeah, you can find a few of them like YouTubers yeah, you can see a bunch of them that usually just shit poster type of YouTubers. My favorite is the guy, the Russian Badger. And he makes some hilarious videos, and it's usually with a bunch of his friends. But his main source of income isn't his streams. He does something else, I know that. I don't recall what it was if I ever did hear it. But he's able to take care of himself, even in San Francisco.
Right.
But after the whole lockdown thing happened, he started putting, a bunch of his extra funds into donations to, causes like, I think one of them he put something into for, I think it was like a food pantry or something, and I think it was a national deal. But even he, at the end of some of his videos, there was every year he puts out a video that is like a compilation of all his videos and the moments he finds his favorite throughout the year. But I remember one of those videos he mentioned, I'm not going to forget that behind the hundreds of thousands of views on these videos is each and every one of those views is a person that I am incredibly thankful for, to all of you guys for gracing me with your time and focus, which gets me to where I'm at.
Yeah.
And so that's like, that's kind of, for me, that kind of reminded me is like, yeah, he's another person too that deals with a lot of stupid shit, but he just knows how to deal with it. And he doesn't forget that there's still people on the other side of it.
Yeah.
And it's, but I start to look at that and I see, here's one of the rare YouTubers who acknowledges that people are giving one of their most valuable resources to him to get him where he's at and, his success. But at the same time, I start to wonder when I see some of these people on like his Discord server, they're just like repeating some of his own jokes back to him. They're, like some of them get pissed off because he doesn't post a video within like 2 weeks or something.
Yeah.
And I start to wonder like how many of these people are also forgetting that, on the other side of that video is the guy that makes the videos and he's still putting his time into making these things.
I can't tell you how many times I profusely apologize if I miss a stream or I take a while on a commission because I'm dealing with my own shit. I cannot tell you how often I worry that people are just going to be like, yeah, she's taking too long. I'm always just like, I'm sorry. I'm
I
trying.
tell you, Lucky. What do I tell you?
That is,
That it's
You say a
fine.
lot of things.
That you are a human being.
I
That
know.
has things going on, and people will understand.
It's just
Yeah.
it's so stressful because I never want to let people down, and I think that's one of my demons is like worrying that I let people down. And the people that I worry about letting down literally just tell me, they're like, it's fine, and I'm like, okay.
They're the ones that matter. See, like that is something that any artist will have to worry about. Any type of creative artist will have to worry about is worrying about letting people down. And the sad fact of it is that you will never make everybody happy.
Yeah.
Ever. There's
Yeah.
always going to be somebody that has something against you.
There's somebody that invited me into one of their groups. I'm just like, what is this? It's, like a voice actor support, like, want to help you guys, find more projects and all that to get working. And I decide, all right, fine, I'll check it out. And it's just this, it's this young woman who's like, she is obsessed with trying to help everybody else no matter what. And I keep telling her, you're just setting yourself up for more disappointment. Trust me, I know. I used to be in that exact position before. It hurts when you fail, and it hurts bad. Because not only are you, letting yourself down, but, it's very likely you're letting the other person down because you give them more expectations that don't work out. So it's like, it's not that you have to, be so self-centered about it. You can be more than willing to, help other people out. Just don't make it your prime goal in life to be as helpful to everybody and get them that success you want them to get there, because it's very likely that many people really either don't want to or just probably won't make it, as a lot of people will see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not
I have
that
a bad habit of wanting to help everybody.
Yeah, and it's not that it's bad to, it's not that it's bad to fail at, finding more followers or viewers or whatever the case, because in the end, if you're still just like putting out there, that someone out there is enjoying it, then great. If you're expecting more of the numbers and the attention and all that, there's more than enough examples out there of why that doesn't work well for somebody. Because some of those can turn into some horror stories.
I saw a Twitter post literally the other day that was like, okay, you're down because there's only 5 to 10 people in your chat, in your Twitch chat. But think about that. You're playing video games in a room and there are 5 to 10 people behind you watching you. Think about that. And it like opened my eyes and I was like, wow, you're right.
Now imagine like hundreds of people doing that too. That seems like it's more stressful.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here and I'm trying to imagine what it was like for just for Ashley, because I think she used to do streaming before she got onto Hasbin, didn't she?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can only think of her sitting there, streaming and getting like a dozen people watching, maybe 2 dozen. But then she lands that job to work on Hasbin, and then she gets Michael to come onto the stream to help advertise it basically, and then basically within the time span of a year, several thousand people subscribing and following her, and today last I checked, 126,000 followers.
I'm guilty of.
That's in the span of 2 years.
Yeah.
How does she
Yeah, which is
handle that?
amazing.
I used to watch the honeycasts at work. Like I would put the phone down and just listen while I was working.
I do that all the time.
Question how she does that too. I don't think she does. I think she just kind of powers through it, which is like what anybody does at that rate. It's like you're either made for it or you're made to bluff.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, yeah.
You just gotta. Yeah.
For me, if I found myself getting to that point within just a couple of years, I might be freaking terrified trying to talk to as many people as I can. What should I do? This is not something I'm used to. But is it even as it stands, this is the highest peak that I've had is 23 people watching any of my streams, and I'm surprised there are that many people that decide to watch. Even though I started this an hour later than I wanted to, because thank you, Xfinity. Yeah, but I'm sitting here and I'm wondering how many people are going to be watching this. A year down the line, is it going to be like 50 people at most watching, or is it going to be like 1,000 people? And if it's the latter, what the hell am I going to do?
I feel that.
Go into the woods and never come out.
Every
That's
day.
actually what Mama Luigi and I do all the time. It's fine. We just
Oh my
sit there
gosh.
and scream.
Absolutely.
Just hide.
Hide
I have
my
I have a
feelings behind
tiny
ton of shit posting.
Yes. Absolutely.
Uh-oh.
Absolutely. I have a tiny
Found out our plan. No.
I have a
What is it
tiny
looking?
anxiety attack every time before I stream because I'm just like, well, how am I gonna entertain these people today? Guess we'll find out.
Same, honestly.
Honestly, mood. Yeah.
I'm just like,
No.
well, got people in VC, so I mean, there's that. I'll just
That
bounce off of
definitely
them.
helps. Yes, it helps so much to have other people in the voice chat with you when you go into streaming and everything. If you have to do it alone, it's fine. It gets hard to figure out what to talk about, and then you have to figure out how to bounce off of the chat. And if the chat's being kind of quiet, they're just kind of watching what you're doing. It gets especially hard because you feel like you have to say something, and sometimes you do.
I default to the "So chat, how are we doing today?" crap all the time.
I just make up banter.
Yeah, sometimes I go for the shock value and I just pull off something that I might have seen on Twitter that just made me giggle or just threw me for a loop, a kind of what the fuck kind of thing. And I'm like, hey chat, did you see that post about such and such? And then the chat will all of a sudden just come alive with what the hell?
Where did this come from, Posh?
Listen, I don't explain anything that I do,
Mama.
and that's why I get away with it.
Your boyfriend just messaged me and said the bits because
The
we were
bits!
talking
Oh my
about my
God.
stream.
Jesus
Oh my
Christ.
God.
Oh man.
Just a quick thought relating to expectations creator viewer wise. I really commend you, Art King, and just like this entire like the people staying here and just this venue in general, because it inspires conversation about these kind of things.
Yep.
And this wasn't like a normal conversation 10 years ago. This wasn't a normal conversation 5 years ago in a lot of the sense. This inspires a new generation of both creators and viewers alike, and creative people who have like this understanding that other people are human, and it's not just a name on the screen. And of course you'll have the stragglers who maybe won't get it. They're young, or they're just
Ignorant.
a bitch or something like that. And it happens. It is one of those things. But having these conversations allows people to take that in their hearts and be like, oh, hey, maybe that person on the screen isn't this some all-knowing, all-loving, godlike figure who, did this one thing in this project I like, and then we automatically put them up on a pedestal. They're human too. They have their own troubles, their own stuff. They're not entitled to their viewership, their commissions, their jobs.
Oh
their
my god,
roles,
yes.
anything,
oh my god,
anything.
yes.
And you are not entitled to their content. It is a
Thank
mutual
you.
Yeah.
I wanna voice about that, because I've had a lot of it happen recently, and I've been pretty vocal about it, because I'm getting to the point where I'm just like super uncomfortable. That in the past like maybe 2 months, I've had at least 3 different people who think that I owe them a friendship just because they donate to my streams. Think that I'm very open. If I'm not feeling up to a stream or something, if I'm not feeling up to doing something, I'm like, yo guys, I need a break today. Sometimes people get mad. Sometimes people are like, oh, why? You take breaks all the time, Wiki. And I'm like, you know what? I'll take as many breaks as I need to.
No,
because
despite you, I'm gonna take another one. Fuck
yeah, I can't keep a smiley face on stream all the time. I cannot do it. And if halfway through a stream I'm feeling poopy, I'll end it. Like, I'll be like, I gotta go. But a lot of people don't understand that I'm human and I'm struggling. And I've got a lot of things I juggle, and I've got a lot of things I gotta deal with. So when people obsess over me and put me on this high pedestal, it stresses me out to the max, because I'm like, just because I was nice to you once does not mean we're friends.
Yeah.
Does not mean that we're buddy-buddy. I cannot stand it when people are just like, mini rant for me, I'm so sorry. I haven't been able to talk about it, so I'm just like heated. I cannot stand it when people are just like, we're best friends now because I played Fall Guys with you on a stream, woohoo, and they won't leave me alone. I'm just like, I don't owe you a reply. They pout, they throw a fit. I can't help you. I'm sorry. I've got 1,000,010 things going on. And it's why I'm so thankful I've got my friends, because sometimes I'll be like, am I a bad person for like not giving them, and they're always like, no, you're fine. You know, you're
like very overprotective, and sometimes
yeah.
we'll also storm the castle and be like, all right, hold on, you gotta stop.
Yeah, and I don't know why it's me. I've been told that because of my personality and like how open I am and how easily approachable I am, that's why people are like that, and they may take like that personality as like a gate to just go and not stop when I ask them to stop. And it's become a lot. I'm just kind of learning to not feel bad if I have to tell somebody how it is. If I have to be like, look, I'm sorry, but just because you donated, just because you hung out, just because we played games once doesn't mean I'm your best friend.
Right.
I can't. You have to earn that. It has to happen. You can't just expect a creator to be your buddy because you show up to their streams all the time. If they decide to talk to you and hang out with you, that's great. But like, you know, it's heckin' stressful. Just want to voice that.
In addition to that, don't go for our friends either. Please don't do that.
No.
Please don't.
That is creepy. I've seen that. What was it? Somebody was doing something like that to Ashley, and Hellboy was like on top of it.
He
was getting.
I've had to do that a couple times myself.
Yeah.
I had Michael in my stream once. Do you know how many people right away messaged me? Oh my gosh, you're friends with Michael? Ooh woo. And I'm just like, stop.
And people are coming after you because they.
Yeah, because they thought they could get to Michael. I can't stand that. It drives me nuts.
kind of comes with the territory of modding for them, duh. But like, there's a point where I don't have to tolerate it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, 100%.
Because like,
that's a very
I do
thing.
consider. Yeah, Ashley may be my fucking boss, but I still consider her my friend.
Of course.
So, like, if she was anyone else, I would still think that's shitty behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and I mean, people like in the realm of this have been asked when I barely have had interaction with some of these people, and I've had people in like my DMs and stuff who have asked, "Oh, hey, I saw you were a part of this. Are you a part of that?" I'm like, "No, not really. No. Thanks for asking, I guess." And then I kind of just segue because I'm very non-confrontational.
Oh yeah.
Whenever it involves specifically me, but yikes, yeah. So just no boundaries. That's
please social
yes,
boundaries.
People, whenever it comes to human too, like that we're humans too, and other people are humans, just no boundaries.
Ooh, another thing that really bothers me, is that I'm polyamorous, so people just automatically think, hee, maybe I can be her girlfriend or boyfriend. And they also try to get close to one of my partners that I currently live with. I've had somebody like low key be really obsessive over him, and I'm just to the point where I'm like, I'm watching because they're just like, it's weird. It's just gotten weird. I don't like it, and I don't know what to do about it. I'm just like, how do I handle people just thinking that they can just come up in here and be my best friend or try to be in a relationship with me? I don't know.
I would like to say in that, for the people that are listening, don't let that scare you. It is a thing that's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
There's just no stopping it.
Yeah.
Because with any kind of notoriety comes people who want to take advantage of that. But that should never scare you away from wanting to reach out to people and become actual friends. And
yeah, of course. As long as you're respectful, like that's all it takes.
I remember.
Good.
I remember in a call with Hellboy and Ashley, Ashley said something really, really, really smart, and I was like, if that's you rare. Come to me as only as a shut up, Posh, I'll fight you. But Ashley was like, if you come to me as only a fan, that's what you will stay, and we'll still appreciate you, obviously. But like, if you don't come to me as like a person or like a friend, then a fan is what you are going to stay as. Of course, we appreciate you, but that's what you're going to stay as far as relationships go.
Yep. You have to let it kind of. You just gotta understand that they're people. Try not to, freak out, or I know it's hard. Man, I've been guilty of falling into the, oh my gosh, they talk to me, hee, mindset. Just kind of be natural with it. Let it happen. And if maybe you do something that makes them uncomfortable, just understand that, things happen. We're all human, Different people have different...
yourself.
Yeah, exactly. I'm bad at wording, so I apologize.
You're fine. You get called out on something. This is just in general, a little wisdom. You get called out on something. You take it to heart. You're like, oh, I am very sorry. Won't happen again. And then it doesn't happen again because you followed your own advice.
Yeah. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. That's all it takes.
It's for some reason it's very difficult for people, and I'm not sure why. Like even I've fallen into that, still do at times, because I look at things and I'm like, I was certain that I did that right, but then like this tends to happen more at work than anywhere else. Is that I'll like because most of what I do is I put things together for like AC systems. I put something in and they come back with it and they tell me, hey, this thing wasn't like put in right, or you didn't need to put this part in because now it's just taking up more space and making our job more difficult. I'm like, I could have sworn that was a part of the process, and it's like, no, because it's a part of this detail. I'm like, okay, so one more thing I got to keep an eye on. But I like if I were to start being like, no, you guys showed me how to do it this way. you didn't tell me anything about this part. If I started pulling that kind of stuff, I'd be gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
It's like it's difficult, yeah, to get feedback of any kind, but critical feedback is what you should be looking for and actually understanding, which is usually what I ask for anywhere I go, because like it kind of helps me develop that thick skin against it. But at the same time, it's like it's information for me to get better. It's why I hate people that that would usually just tell me, all right, I'm never talking to you again and all that, and I'm like, all right, what did I do? And I hear no response. And that irritates me more than anything else because, like, I don't know what I did to piss them off.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that happens a lot with people. And the more it happens, the more they think, oh, I guess I didn't do something wrong. They're just, insert foul word that you want here.
Yeah.
But that will eventually extend to, like, anything in the creative fields, your work, social interactions, whatever the case, which does not help, especially if you're in like the creative entertainment industry.
Know that if
don't
we
pick
correct.
fights.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
It was fine. Oh yeah, and don't pick fights. Don't start things. Yeah.
Yep.
No, remember, I mean, they're also with you. They're not just like some like again ethereal forces just there that you can just poke fun at. I mean, you could be on something with them. You could like have interactions with them. Build good bridges.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say, if like I didn't want to make anybody. If I made anybody uncomfortable by getting so heated, I'm sorry. But just know that like if we talk about things, if we talk about things, it's because we care and like we're not mad at you. We just want to, like, Sorry, I'm also reading. Yeah, I'm also reading general chat right now. Sorry.
Yeah, we're kind of just fucking around in the chat right now.
Yeah.
To me, that's amazing, like, ability right there for you guys to be able to carry on with, like, shit posts like this. But still have these, like, nuanced conversations. Like, how the hell did you guys develop that ability to work on two tracks at once? I can barely focus on one thing.
Shitposting is genetic, darling.
It's a coping skill for when I'm nervous. Let's go.
Honestly, it comes with having to learn how to listen to a lot of people at once. You got to realize a lot of us are coming from a place where we've had to sit in voice chats with like anywhere from 10 to 20 people at a time, and also paying attention to the chat.
Yeah, true. Oh my goodness, it's a
the Honeycord almost has 10,000 people, so like you gotta have that skill, I guess.
Like a couple of weeks. Well, whenever the last time that the Honeycord was open, we did actually reach over 10,000 people. But since then, we've dropped down to about 9,600. That's still that's a shit ton of people.
That's a lot of people. I told you, I get scared. There's a lot of people in there.
There's a shit ton of people.
Eventually, Ashley's gonna reach the limit of how many people can be in the one server.
There's a limit?
There is a limit. I don't remember what it was.
It's a lot. No, it's a very high number. I think it's like up there in the 40,000 range.
Actually, cow. I saw somebody. Just for like a lot of servers don't allow other invites, and so somebody posted an invite on Honeygrove. I was just like, oh, okay, hey, make sure to delete that. It was a server with over 45,000 people.
Christ!
Whoa!
How?
I just wanted to. Oh, go ahead, Push.
I'm so sorry.
No.
I was just gonna say. So honestly, there are bots out there that just randomly invite people. So I do want to point that out.
That's true. I just want to say, somebody that commissions me a lot and is a regular customer just messaged me and said, I'm listening to the podcast. All of y'all are awesome. Keep it up.
Aww,
so,
how dare you? I'm kidding. I love you too.
You can love everybody but Luigi.
Wow! I will not allow that. I love her.
We have a blood feud.
I love her. You cannot stop me.
Listen.
Is it time for Hawaii Wars?
Oh God.
Yeah.
We're just gonna destroy.
Listen, I told you, we love each other unconditionally, but that doesn't mean we're not at each other's throats.
Well, yeah.
There are gonna be times where that happens, you know?
Oh, I've seen
wanna,
screenshots.
Wait a minute! Oh no, I'm
There's
scared.
one thing we never posted, which was when the entirety of the Honey staff got in a fight with Ed. So that was an interesting time.
A trip.
Oh my god.
It wasn't a serious fight, obviously, but it was like we thought we could stand a chance, and we did not.
Yeah. So, okay. Like just kind of like TLDRing it. Alien wanted to quote unquote pick a fight with Ed.
Yeah.
Because they small. And so, like, I think like 2 or 3 of us actually popped into Ed's DMs and was like, "Get in here, right the f now."
Okay, the staff wants to fight you for the dumb shit you pulled in the Alistair cast.
And so, like, he actually came in because he's not in the Honey Court, and I don't blame him at all.
No.
Same.
So, like, he comes in, immediately gets pulled into the meeting room or wherever we were at, the break room or something, and immediately just starts laying in on absolutely everybody that was in there. I mean, just
everyone
doing his...
but you.
Well, me and May, yeah. Like, at some point in time, I don't remember who said what, but somebody tried to get Ed to be sicked on me and, like, start his thing with me. And
I like Posh.
Yeah, he got really quiet. He just like, I like Posh. I'm like,
Fair. That was a time for sure.
We have a lot of fun.
I can see that. Some of the things that I've seen you guys posting, like I think Hellboy has it pinned on his Twitter, where Ashley just like does the space between each letter vor power, and he's just like, Ashley, no,
vor power, yeah.
And I'm sitting here, I'm like, how many of those moments happen on a regular basis between you guys?
Every single day.
Oh man.
Seriously,
there's literally not a moment.
I don't know. I cannot put a gauge on how afraid I would be if you guys didn't have that ability to like vent that onto each other, because then that would mean they'd be venting it into their public spaces like Twitter, and the shit that I think I would be seeing, I am kind of afraid of.
Oh, honey, you haven't seen my Twitter.
Yeah, my Twitter's a mess.
Yeah, the rain falls on the just and unjust alike.
Oh my god!
Just the Honey staff's Twitter account is filled with shit. I'm like, what the hell are you guys smoking and taking at the same time?
Listen, we're in quarantine. We have to be gremlins somehow. We can't do it, in person. We have to just. I mean, we had
a lot of people and
true.
Put them in the server.
We had Demi Lovato and Pasha's stream. I'm saying that as Nixby was like acting as Demi Lovato, and it was funny.
Oh.
And it's a mess. Everything is a mess.
Yeah, it's. I'm kind of sitting here wondering. It's like, yeah, it's really fun to be like all shitposty and all that, because like even my own with the podcast group that I'm with, we have all kinds of shitposty moments. Some of us far worse than others. It's concerning to me, honestly. But like even after all the shitposty type of stuff, how like. What is the actual like personal dynamic between everybody? Because like, yeah, some of you, I would not expect anyone to be holding like, I've got this many followers and all that. In fact, I recall Ed saying like he just wanted to get more followers specifically because he understood that, with the internal politics of casting, it's kind of fucked because of the follower count, deal. So I don't expect you guys to be holding any of that over each other, but like those personal dynamics outside of all the shit posting, like how real does it get with you guys?
Oof.
We're a family, dude.
We really are.
Yeah. So like, I kind of see. I'm a very vulnerable person. I kind of see myself as the baby of the group, and everybody treats me as such. And I've never had that before. I've never had somebody that. Like will give me real advice and also like be like, hey Wiki, like they're not afraid to put me in my place if I do fuck up, basically, because that's what family does. Like that's how it is. But also, like I don't know. It's very personal for me. I straight up see Posh, if not like a dad figure, straight up an older brother. Like I'm attached to his hip. Like I can't tell you how many times I have like just cried happiness because I'm just so lucky to have these people. I'm gonna cry. So so lucky to have these people in my life because I've never had that in real life before. Like not, I say that as if these people are fake. That's not what I mean. But like we're not able to actually. Posh surprised me one time, was bringing me the cat, and I only expected Velvet to be there, and then Posh jumped out of the car, and it took me 2 seconds. I was like, wait a second, and I looked, and I was like,
Yeah, I came
Mr.
along too.
Clean?
I was like,
Slimer.
I was kind of like, is this a fever dream? Like, am I okay? Am I all right? And then I'm like, give me a hug, give me a hug, give me a hug.
Oh.
I cried.
That's what one of the guys has been saying in the group, is that if we ever do like get to the point where we get to actually meet each other, like just at some like small con, we happen to be in the same place, for whatever reason, he wants to give us all a hug because he's one of those guys that is I don't want to say, he's one of those guys that like emotionally resonates with people much easier than a lot of us. Like me, I'm very apathetic. I've described myself as a Vulcan before from Star Trek, and that emotions for me are a very personal thing. In general, I just tend to take things with more of like a logical step. Like even my humor tends to be more the smart humor type of thing, even though I'm not very good at it myself. But I get where he's coming from on that, in that if I ever got to see any of them in reality, I would have no problem giving them a hug, a high five, fist bump, whatever they prefer. But just having that like actual human connection, even at a distance, is something that is incredibly important to me. And I can only imagine as people, like yourselves that have, whatever number of followers, or you have, these people that are following you because they really like your work, but then suddenly they're holding you on a pedestal. I kind of wonder how much you guys have come to like appreciate legitimate friendships like you guys have grown with each other. And especially when you compare it to like all these people that are talking with you just because they want to talk with you because you do something really cool, because you have a lot of followers, whatever the case.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think others could speak better for this than I can.
Let me know if I put too many
yeah.
words to that.
No,
that's
you're fine.
I think like in terms of just finding like legitimacies and just like people who, it's all about people who, regardless of where they're coming from initially, unless they have some sort of ulterior motive, it's all about like finding people who you vibe with. I think that's the best way to put it.
Mm-hmm.
People who like, oh wow, this person's really cool, and usually you'll know that very soon whenever you meet them.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's also people that like you not only vibe with, but you're comfortable knowing that you're not always going to vibe all the time, and you're comfortable with that as well.
Right.
Yep.
Because people think, honestly, like this is the biggest thing that makes or breaks friendships, is that you think that you have to be hanging out, having fun 24/7. And I'm like, no, sometimes you just want to coexist.
Yeah.
And sometimes you want space. And that's great. That's fine.
It's called being a human.
Yeah.
So for me, it's a lot of it is like, I want people who won't bullshit me. Like if I'm doing something
Saucy.
wrong, please get on my ass about it.
Did Saucy beat me to it? God damn it.
Saucy!
Wait, what?
I did it. Sorry, I didn't know Posh was playing it. I just Wiki kind of mentioned on the side that she didn't have Discord Nitro, so I just got her Discord Nitro. It's fine.
Yeah, I was about to.
What the fuck?
I didn't even know you could get to do what?
Yeah.
You're fine. Yeah, it's
Don't
something
worry
you
about
can do. You're good.
about it.
It's fine.
Don't worry about it.
We
He's
look out for
fine.
each
Don't worry
other.
about it.
Find someone who
He's
you look
fine.
out for. Just
He's
to veer
fine.
back to the conversation. Find somebody who you, like, can, like, truly help out with whatever doing, like the kind of give and take, or just like if the give and take is just vibes, yeah, that's what you got to do. But find people who like really resonate with you, and that goes for everybody in chat too. That extends out of just the realm of art and VA and everything. That goes into the real world as well, which is kind of a weird thing to say. Internet world, real world. For any job that you're in, find those people because they will help you. They'll make the experience less terrible in a lot of cases. They'll make the worst parts less worse. VR world. Thank you, Posh.
Imagine living in a simulation. Oh wait.
Yeah.
Where
I don't have time for existential crises right now. Listen.
There was either a movie or a show that followed this kind of idea where it was like
Yeah.
It was a
Cameron's
movie, I
Avatar
think.
style pods where you jump in and you're suddenly in some
Fine.
like pseudo second
Yeah,
life
that's from the Lost
world.
Bastard.
No, honey.
Oh
Yeah,
jeez.
Wiki's so
Oh,
happy
jeez.
now.
Oh, you guys have unlocked probably. Oh man.
Oh,
Yeah,
I've turned
it's
Wiki
time for
evil.
chaos in the chat.
I'm so happy.
Anyways,
I'm
so,
so
like-
happy.
Especially since now she can use emotes from other servers.
yeah.
Yeah, okay, we just unlocked Wiki's full potential, so it's
We're
What's
having
that
a good
mind
time. Having a
awakening
good
meme
time.
now? All right.
But to like really go into that, because you were saying like, you know, how we kind of came together and created like the community, the family that we have. And it really is just like, we kind of just stumbled on each other. Truly.
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure there was a point in time that none of us even knew who each other were. And if we did know who each other was, it was just like vagueness, like, you know, we knew that Mama was an admin for the Honey Cord, or like people might have recognized me from like the bullshit that I post on Twitter, and that I at one point in time I started modding for Michael's Twitch streams, and that's about it. That's all they knew of me. And then like we just kind of started creating a friendship and talking to each other more, and then literally Velvet and May or Jupiter on Twitch created Hawuni, and that is where everything really took off.
I mean, I could tell that story.
I mean, Velvet's right here if y'all can hear him.
So essentially, the whole thing behind Hawuni is that I had seen that the UU crew had like their out of context thing, and I really wanted to get a staff Twitter so we could do pretty much the same thing, because we say some absolutely dumb shit in our staff meetings. It is hilarious. So I wanted to do an out of context staff Twitter. And so we asked Ashley, and she said yes. And I think at the same time, May also wanted to start live streaming on Twitch, I believe. And that was also approved. And I think like maybe the day of or the day after, Pasha like DM'd me and offered, it's like, hey, if you want, I'm streaming tomorrow, and you can join. I'll invite you to the server, and you can just get some time on air. And I'm like, yeah, sure. So I wake up like an hour into the stream. May is already there, and we're just kind of vibing and talking. I don't even remember what you were doing. It's probably doodling or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Probably fuck shit.
And at some point,
Yeah.
we had mentioned that she's like, yeah, Ashley just said we could start streaming on Twitch and stuff. It's like, yo, what if we did like some head-to-heads with like the UU crew or whatever? And one thing leads to another. May has to leave for some random reason. And I DM her, it's like, yo, I'm gonna make a server and call it Hawuni Staff. And then I did that. And I gave the invite. I invited her. I gave the invite to Posh. It's like, yo, just give this to the UU private server. And so they did. And then I just invited a shit ton of people from the Honey staff, and just like, and then didn't actually tell them why. So
We
everyone's
literally
just entering into the server like, what the fuck is going on?
We literally just dropped a whole bunch of people in there, like just out of nowhere.
So it's like
I
4 people coming
remember-
into the server at once.
Hi,
And we're
we
just like,
still do that.
"Oops."
I remember
Why?
being really scared. I was like, well, I don't, I'm really shy. And Posh was like, don't worry about it. And now, like I said, they can't get me to shut up.
I'm gonna smooch your face if you say that one
Now
more
we're
time.
160 members. Everyone's
We are currently at well, if you don't count the bots, I think we're at 160 members.
Holy cow.
yeah, we are literally at 160 members.
Yeah, because we keep stealing people.
We do keep kidnapping people. So
Like, recently we got the Billy Bust Up crew, and we've got like who
like a
else did we
daisy.
grab? Oh yeah, true.
Like people
And
like
we
Tracy
got-
and Kaz.
Yeah.
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 Well, we had Kaz
Kaz.
originally.
We had Kaz,
anyway.
yeah.
I cast for a long time.
Also the people from Honey Bun Dubs. I recently
Oh
checked
my
out some of their
God, I
stuff.
love them.
Awesome.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, they're
I
really
love them so
talented people.
much.
Yeah. That's
I
The whole-
literally saw them and went, "Yeah, you're coming with me."
Who else do we have?
but
Well, I mean, obviously we have some people from the Has-Been crew.
Yeah.
We've got pretty much
The
all of
French
the
crew.
Yeah, the French.
Oh, yeah!
Oh yeah. I remember them now.
Villains and Co is in there. Well, at least Magpie is. I'm still trying to get everybody else.
Mhm.
I'm trying to get everybody else from B-Stars in there, but right now we only have Jonah and his girlfriend.
I didn't even know his girlfriend was in here. I've been missing.
She just came in.
I added her
Coco is
today.
a wonderful person.
Oh,
Coco is
Coco's a
absolutely
great
beautiful.
person.
So with all these like different people that you guys are starting to get connections with, like whether or not you're like personally close with all of them, naturally that would come with a lot of different a lot of exposure. Like you guys just being a part of the Honey staff, you look at the Twitter and it's already at like what was it, 6,000 followers now?
Yeah.
I think
my.
we're getting there, yeah.
With that kind of exposure, have you guys found yourselves, because you guys have found yourselves like really enjoying your personal friendships with each other at this point, but especially with all the exposure that you guys have gotten, whether that shows in your follower counts or not, do you guys feel you've become a little more like jaded in terms of like how you feel people like approach you? Because it's one thing
I've
that,
aged 10 years.
oh jeez, because that was one of the questions I believe I posted to Chris and Krystal, and both of them say that it's that getting to the point that they has left them a little bit jaded, because they're like they mentioned that when they find a lot of people that they think are going to be their friends, but it turns out, hey, can you get me like in connection with this person? Suddenly they realize, oh, they weren't actually here to be my friend. They just, wanted me for people I knew.
Mhm.
So they find themselves like really enjoying those actual friendships that form. And I'm wondering, just by proxy of exposure alone to all these different like projects and people that are so well known, do you guys find yourselves, even at that secondhand like level of not being directly related to them, do you guys find yourselves starting to become a little jaded in that sense?
We can go down the list. Here, go ahead.
Oh
And start
shit,
with-
okay. To an extent, yeah, I do feel a little jaded because it makes me feel like I'm only there for them to climb up the ladder of popularity, and it doesn't make me feel nice. I'm like, I'm a person too. I'm
Yeah.
pretty
Wait.
cool, I think.
what was the question? I'm sorry, I zoned out for a quick second.
With all the exposure from being a part of like the Honey cast and
Ah.
and all that, do you feel you've become more jaded in terms of people talking to you, wanting to be your friend and all that, and you find later whether or not they just want you for people or for actually being your friend?
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not even just been with Ashley or Michael. It's been like with my friend Tune for Brains or like Ames or somebody like that. They'll just come to us and be like, "Hey, can you like go and talk to this person
For me? Can you do this for me?
And I'm like, no. You can like square up and go talk to them yourself. I am not.
Yeah.
We're not step stools. We're not. We're not here as tools to get you to meet popular people. That's not what we're here for.
No.
Like I said, I did have a lot of people after the stream I had with Michael that were like, "Oh my gosh, did you know that Michael just joined your server?" And like, "Oh my gosh, like, can you tell him that like I love Angel Dust and like blah blah blah?" And I'm just like, ha 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 ha. It's not comfortable. It's really
God,
not.
You want to try that again and do a Fenical laugh instead with me?
I love a Gretzko, okay? I love it.
I have not fully seen it yet, but Fenico is already
Excellent
one of my
show.
favorites just because just that deadpan delivery she always has.
She's so good. I love her. But yeah, just like, you know, the whole stepping stool thing is definitely something that happens. It's really hard to deal with, and it's just kind of like, well, you know, I wish you wanted to talk to me, but instead.
I haven't dealt with that myself, honestly, because I'm just some guy who's starting a podcast to remind people, hey, these people are people too. All right, let's take a shot for how many times we, I or one of us says the word people. We're all gonna die about
you're fucking dead. You are dead.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I haven't dealt with that myself. I haven't grown as big a following yet. I've only been at this a couple of months, and just this podcast alone, this is only my second episode. It's only been 2 weeks since I did this, but I have seen it. In Aiden, as I mentioned before, and that somebody wanted to talk with him, because he's got, a couple hundred people following him, and they really love his artwork, and they want to get close to him because he's like part of some other project. And I'm just like, come on, you guys, can't you, find something about him that you like and not, what he's a part of?
Yep.
It's like, at this point, I'm glad, because I've had a couple of roles so far, in smaller things, but I'm already starting to dread the idea that people want me to, talk with them just because I'm a part of it, or because, I'm kind of associated with whoever put the project together.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I don't want that to be like something to discourage people from getting into the hobby of like voice acting or doing art, because it's still fun. You just gotta like kind of prepare yourself for what, problems that territory comes with.
Yeah.
And for me, it's like, I feel like I already have an advantage because I've become so, like, I've used the word apathetic before. If I recall correctly, it generally means not really like showing much emotion or personal connection to, a person, an object, an event, whatever the case.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I feel like it's kind of helped me keep my sanity so far throughout, the whole pandemic, because I know there's still people I'm going to talk to, but I can't let the emotions of like not getting to see them all the time get to me, because I would have, I've kind of gotten to that point where I think people who run themselves through because they can't deal with it anymore, I can't really connect to that. But it's about all I can do to not lose my own shit, knowing that all these people are starting to, let themselves go in some of the most extreme ways.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, just being there, I feel like is already a bit of an advantage for me going into this, because it's not going to hurt me because I don't have those expectations. I already know I'm going to be disappointed. So what's the point of being disappointed?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But you guys seem to have found other ways to deal with it and still like actually be happy to some extent. Like, obviously with all the shit posting as has as obviously I can talk, I swear. But as,
you? Is that you, Wiki?
What I do?
but yeah,
Sorry.
you guys have shown yourselves capable of like still enjoying your day because of all the shit posting as continues to happen in the general chat here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Like
It's
how
a
else
bad habit.
are you guys gonna get to enjoy being gremlins anywhere else?
Right.
Yeah, but it's like that's once I get to that point with people, I know I'm gonna enjoy being around them. I can't imagine that being something that happens often with you guys anymore, especially with current events. That you guys
Definitely.
yeah.
It can definitely get hard to deal with the day-to-day, and I know that a lot of us, we still have moments where we break down. We definitely, we're not happy all the time, obviously. We're not even trying to say that we are, but because we are more of like a family to each other, we're comfortable to a point. We're not always comfortable, but we're more comfortable to a point of going to each other and venting to each other, and being able to talk about what's going on in our daily lives, in our minds, what our brains are doing to us, and just being able to vent it out so that it goes somewhere instead of stays in and bottles inside of us and just makes us feel worse. And knowing when it's a good time to just have fun and be silly and make lots of shit posts, or in this case, I'm kind of looking over at Velvet's screen right now, watching Midsommar, and the chat is crazy right now. And then there's a point in time when it's time to get serious, and we'll go into a VC and we'll talk each other down. We'll bring in the music bot and just vibe, because sometimes all we need is each other's presence.
Yeah, behind the chaos, there's always real talk, and like, we trust each other a lot.
Yeah.
I know I've had to open up. More than once, I've had to open up to people in the group, because I'm a very emotional person. I'm like tied to my emotions. I'm very hyper aware of how I feel constantly. It's kind of annoying, but it's just how I am. It's just how I work. But yeah, I've had to talk about how I feel. Like, it's nice to have people you can be, crazy with, but also have people to be serious with.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys feel that any of these conversations would have been different if you hadn't like gotten into these creative fields, or hadn't gotten whatever number of followers or subscribers, whatever the case?
Followers, I don't think has much of a bearing on it.
No.
I think the fields helps for finding your family, and this is kind of our little family. And I mean, a lot of the times it's like you'll be in a group and it's like, oh, this is nice, but it's not really for me. Find those people who you really feel like you're going to be around, and it helps a lot of the times to be in similar fields with kind of aligned interests. But it's a welcome invitation to like reach out to people who you admire, but like you maybe aren't like aligned in what you're doing in that sense, but you kind of really match with them.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Right.
And every single person in Hawuni right now is so incredibly talented in some way or another. There is all walks of life in there. We've got a huge handful of artists, a huge handful of VAs. We've got musicians, we've got tinkerers, we've got technicians, people who work with code, people who do things that I couldn't even imagine myself doing, and doing it so flawlessly and easily that it just boggles my mind. And like that's kind of like it all comes like full circle about what we were talking about, because we reached out to each other and we started talking to each other, and we started off as friends, and we still are friends, and we still are a family and community, but we wouldn't be here if we didn't have this connection of just everything that we're very passionate about. And that's how I feel like communities should be, especially like trying to find your place and trying to be like an artist, an up and coming artist or an aspiring voice actor or something. Is that you shouldn't feel afraid to reach out to the people that you look up to, or even just your friends, and start making the process happen. But you've got to do it, because we wouldn't be here if we didn't just say fuck it and start being friends with each other, you know?
This is why we kidnap people from the industry into the group.
Well,
Thank you, honey.
I'm pretty sure a lot of these conversations that you guys have with each other wouldn't be very different from conversations you'd have with basically anyone else had these circumstances not, fallen into place.
Well,
Man.
it's a little different, at least in my opinion, because we've grown so close to each other. And like, had it been like other people that we really aren't super close to or we really don't know, I don't think it would go the same way.
Yeah.
I feel like it would have gone differently. Like, there's some people I might have never talked to.
Yeah.
Not gotten to know. Even if I had talked to them, I wouldn't be talking to them the same way. It might be up like in a place of almost like fandom or something like that, and not so close. So yeah, definitely just taking that extra step to honestly and legitimately become a friend and want to get to know each other, and learning to kind of trust each other really helped seal the deal, if you want to say that.
Right.
Yeah. No, 100%.
Finding those friends, especially in circumstances like yours, where you've got so much to worry about, not only in your personal lives, but also with like all these different communities that you're helping to watch over. Finding friends like that, I can't imagine happens very often anymore.
Fortunately not.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not even thinking about the circumstances of the pandemic or anything. It's just the fact that people are so automatically jaded. And they automatically want to just think about, like, how is this person going to help me get further? How is this person going to help me get, where I want to be? Or what can they give me? And I'm like, that's not the right way to think about it. You want to make a friend, just make a friend. There's no point in thinking about what can this person do for me or what can I do for them. It's give and take all the time. That's just what it is.
Yeah. No, 100%. Yeah, that's exactly what we kind of like touched on earlier. That really puts the hammer to the head, if you know what I mean.
Right.
Yeah.
So, well, in the end, what I'm basically getting out of this is, you guys just by proxy, already deal with a fair amount of BS, because like last time was talking with people who tend to be the center of focus more often, but you guys, just because of who already have your own set of problems to deal with. But it sounds like you guys have found your ways to deal with it, to cope with it, whether that's with each other or with other things that you guys do. Like, I'm pretty sure the streaming, especially for Wiki, is like been very helpful.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, like, I can sit here and try to wonder how often, do these beautiful people like have to, put up with some of the worst behaviors of people that we see in these communities, but then, just continue on about their day afterward, and, still just be normal people. They don't let any of that, insane bullshit get to them. Things like that aren't easy to deal with, especially on such a regular basis.
Yep. I try very hard. I do like I said, I'm very in touch with my emotions. So, you know, sometimes it's real difficult to not take what people say or do in my live stream chat to heart. Because I get a lot of people that can see that my character is a wolf, like an anther wolf, and they'll come into my chat and just be like, haha, you dumb furry. And it's just like, well, thank you for giving me a viewer, I guess. I'm just like, all right, fine, whatever, you know, I'm just gonna continue. I try not to let it linger. I just have a really hard time with dumb stuff like that, and then also heck, like I've said before, people that just kind of don't really understand, they're just kind of like, oh, I've talked to you once, you owe me a friendship. I kind of let that get to me a lot because I don't like being mean to people. I am one of the sweetest people you'll ever meet, and that gets me into a lot of trouble because people take advantage of that. So I'm like, I don't like to be mean. Like, I often have to question other people and be like, am I being too mean? And they're like, no, you need to be, like, meaner, if anything. And I'm just like,
It's not even being mean, it's being assertive.
Yeah, being stern.
Yeah. There is a fine line where it goes from being assertive to being mean.
Right.
And it's such a wavering line that sometimes you don't actually realize when you are passing that. And so it's good to have friends to, like, kind of go back to and be like, hey, this person is kind of like bothering me or making me feel uncomfortable or something, and this is what I'm going to tell them, you know, privately in their DMs or something. Is this too mean? And it's fair to ask that, because sometimes coming off as assertive can unfortunately slip into coming off as just plain out mean.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. That's exactly what I'm scared of, because I don't ever want to push people away from, you know, a safe space, because my streams and my content are always a safe space, 100%. And so, like, I'm always scared of, like, pushing people away by being assertive. I guess that's my fear, but I try not to let it get to me too much. I may overthink it for like an hour or two, then go about my day, but it is hard.
Isn't this us every day?
Yeah.
Overthinking shit, yeah. I do that shit all the time.
That's just life. That is literally just life. Yeah. And you're always going to do it.
Yep.
The biggest question is the biggest question is, like, what are you going to do about it?
Yeah. Yep.
What the fuck?
Sorry, I distracted everybody from this serious moment.
I came back from the void. What's going on?
What's my name again?
I'm sorry. I can't. I'm gonna mute because I'm gonna be laughing first.
For people who don't know what we're looking at, it's some sort of animal getting a piece of pizza stuck on their
cat.
And then going,
it's a cat.
Is that a cat?
It's a cat.
Oh, I don't know what that is. Okay, it's a cat getting a piece of pizza stuck on its top teeth and going.
And you see that food just like the bottom jaw, in contrast to that big, fat, massive piece of bread in its teeth, just both opening at once.
It looks like a dog!
This is the point in time where we all just break down because we're just, like, so done with shit.
It looks like a duck. I thought it was a chihuahua, but it's a cat.
It moves like a Jim Henson.
Can you put it up on the screen?
Yeah, it's already up.
Oh, thank you. God damn.
There it is.
There it is.
Yeah, so that's the thing. I guess it's just for us, but hopefully other people juxtapose the really, like, heart-to-heart seriousness with just shit humor. Please, it's so funny, and also it makes you feel so better, like, much better, and eases that pain.
It does.
Just, yeah, especially in the art world and the VA world. It's like, oh my god, I sent this. I'm hoping I get it, but I'm gonna forget it anyway. Oh look, cat with pizza.
Your mind process is just as saucy as you, I think.
GIF function go burn.
Shit like that has saved me many a painful moment.
Yes.
No! I'm sorry. I snorted.
You're fine.
I deal with that all the time. Whether it's my D&D group, one person does it all the time, or in the other podcast group. It's I deal with it so much.
It's adorable.
It's
so
I'm not cute. You're cute.
So to
Wow.
steal a meme from the Honeycast. Speaking of distracting moments, I've got another question for you.
Yeah.
And this will go. It's usually a couple of questions I like to work into, or that I want to work into. Usually, it's only my second episode. These are a couple of questions, like I asked at the start, like where you guys are from and how that affects you guys. There's a couple more questions that I want to ask, and one of them is, how do you feel your respective, like, jobs or like hobbies, whether it's doing art, animation, voiceover, even like just Twitch streaming by itself, how do you guys feel these things have affected how you guys are today after you guys have started in these things?
Ooh. Okay, we can go down the list. Or you want to go up the list?
Why are we always starting with me?
Let's go
Well,
up
why
the
do we
list
have
this
to?
time.
I'm put on the spot. How do I answer this question? I feel like I've.
like how has like actually becoming a professional
But I'm.
basically artist.
Well,
I don't
you're
know if I'm
you're professional or
professional.
not.
You're doing it for a living. You're a professional.
Okay. Hecky. I guess it's definitely kind of given me something to like be really excited about every day. Like I wake up and I'm like, okay, because I get really crazy commissions and stuff to work on, and I'm just kind of like, all right, I'm so ready to draw this right now. I'm so excited. And then some days, like a normal job, I'm just kind of like, I don't want to draw. I don't want to do it today. Also, it's given me, it's kind of been an eye opener myself to like an eye opener myself about how like people in the industry should be treated and respected, and like kind of given me like a wake up call to like keep myself in check when it comes to like looking up to other people or talking to other people. And also, I've become a lot more social. I am 100% an introvert, but like ever since like this since this entire thing happened, I've become more like, I just want to go get coffee with my friends. I just want to tell them about my day. I just want to talk to my friends. I just want to talk to my viewers. I just want to sit in front of my screen and have a good time and like tell them about my day, ask them about their day, and just have a conversation. It's made me a lot more social and a lot more open. Like I know when to like not be as open, but like it's really refreshing because I just have something to look forward to every single day. Not that I didn't before, but it's kind of a different feeling this time. And especially within the group too. Like they helped me a lot. Like whether they know it or not, they have helped me a lot, like pushing me to get myself out there. And like I never stopped, and I'm just so thankful because I don't know like what I'd do without my friends. I don't know what I'd do without like Twitch. It's such a good platform just to sit there and just vibe for like 3 hours with people. I had a 12-hour birthday stream. That was fun.
Oh,
that was
that was not good.
Oh no, I don't know if I might do 24 at some point. I might be crazy enough, but my 12-hour birthday stream was just, it turned into like the last 3 hours. There was a hype train. I cried a lot because it turned into chat just writing out long paragraphs about things that I've done that have made them happy. And I'm just like, it's so, like I said, it's just something to look forward to every day, because I love that I'm doing what I love for me, but it's also helping out other people. And it's just such a wonderful feeling. I'm talking a lot. I'm so sorry.
But
I think I'm done.
But you'd say it's basically vastly improved your ability to be able to just deal with people, basically.
Yes, I'm now able to not feel weird whenever I walk into a room and talk to somebody. I still get anxious, but like basically it's improved my overall like also view of myself, I guess, cuz I used to be really really hard on myself, but now it's kind of like I see changes in myself that I love, and I see improvement all the time. And that's all that I strive for, is to like be better than I was yesterday as a person. That's all I want. And it's really nice because I'm able to see that, whether it's improvement in my craft or like in myself, just myself as a person. It's really nice. I think that's another thing.
I see this as a vast mirror of Ashley herself, because I recall she was not exactly somebody who was social very much, but then she gets into her work, and now she is like shit posthumous prime, basically.
Yeah. I have
You
been
have
told.
no idea.
You actually have no idea. What you see is just the tip of the iceberg.
Oh, no. I'm scared now. I am legit scared.
You should be.
She's quite the something.
Goofer.
We love her.
Shit poster, just like everyone else.
What about you, Sussy?
Oh, I think it really has given me an outlet for a lot of things. Not really emotional, but like more. Yeah.
Sorry.
You're good. It's given me an outlet in terms of like, I'm not sitting there all day like, oh, I go to work, I go do this, I study. I'm not like locked in one mindset. It gives me another realm of expression that I really, really like appreciate, and it's just given me a new look on things and another thing to strive for in terms of my happiness and how I want to continue my life. Another thing is I've met some wonderful people. I've gotten some advice from a lot of very, very, very fine actors, directors, people who have done animation, artists, stuff like that. And I never in my life would have expected to have that kind of input on what I do. It's always just been hell. For the first year that I was doing it, it was me against the world pretty much. The only people I had contact with was in the first year I was doing, I had 2 projects that I was doing. Both of them got axed from the internet, which sucks.
Oh no!
But I guess it was for the best. They weren't the best performances. And I was just doing extra stuff, so it was fine. Got paid $5 for both times, and it was good. Just for the entire thing, because it was something like that. But only people I had contact with was if I was delivering a certain line with somebody, or we were just getting it all done, like in a call. And the director, the creator, whatever. I never had the input of anybody else in the field or in just the overall sphere of everything. So it's given me something to strive for. It's given me something to cherish. Some of the friends that I've made along the way, whether directly related or not, have just been fantastic people. And yeah, that's it.
It kind of like, jumping back real quick, it kind of like helped me cope with a lot of my mental health issues. Because I used to just be like, haha, just another day, gonna wake up, go to work, come home, go back to sleep, and just another day. But now it's like, I never know what's gonna happen. It's never the same. And it's kind of just like I said, I guess something to look forward to every day. It's just like a really, I love to be doing what I love. Like, that's about it. It's really helped my depression and overall anxiety. It's been a ride.
That's always good.
Yeah.
Great. The more stories like that are always great.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we can move to Posh next.
Honestly, it's kind of like it starts feeling like it repeats itself, because it's kind of the same thing. If I didn't get into art, I wouldn't be doing something that I loved. I wouldn't be making myself improve every single day, learning to do new things. Showing off my art makes me more social. When I started streaming, I didn't start streaming until after watching Michael and J-Van do their just having fun playing, what was it? Detroit.
Oh.
Yeah, that's when I first started watching them.
I don't know the name either. I know what you're talking about, though.
Yeah.
Detroit Become
Human.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. And then, like, I had a Twitch account, and I tried, like, a couple of years ago to do it, but I was still way too introverted and just couldn't get up the nerve to start up streaming on a regular basis. So, like, once I started actually doing it for real, I want to say last November, almost December is when I started as well. That really is where it started opening up the door of just me kind of like figuring out where I wanted to belong, not so much where I did belong. That's something that I'll always be trying to figure out as a person. And it changes every single day. But where I want to belong is just somewhere where I can make people laugh and smile and make them feel good about themselves. Again, because, my upbringing, because I never really had that. So I always want to make sure that people, at least for a couple of minutes of the day, couple of hours of the day, feel good. And like they leave my stream smiling or looking forward to the day or something. And then, of course, with voice acting, once I start getting into it, it's still kind of the same thing. I want to become this person that I love myself and that people love what I do. And that, like, they see the character, they know that it's me, or they see my name as the character. And they just, it just makes them want to just keep moving forward with their own passion.
Yeah. Man.
Sorry, I had to take a quick run of hydration there.
Oh, you're good.
Hydrate.
Hydrate or dihydrate, people.
Sorry, give me a sec. My mom keeps sending me Pinterest videos, and I'm not entirely sure why.
Oh, Pinterest, Jesus. I've given up on Pinterest.
And they're all of dogs and cats. So like, obviously it's good content, but like, why?
If I could steal 5 seconds, can I go to the corner of my room and scream Pinterest? I just want to.
Go for it.
Okay.
All right.
Pull a Michael, please.
I don't know. It's fun. I don't know, but I think this is how we feel about Pinterest.
Saucy is honestly our Michael.
He's like if Dave and Michael were fused into one person.
Oh my god.
You've heard me
I'm
in
a
call
genius.
with Dave and Sweet Dandy. Sweet Dandy's an amazing artist, Patrick Casey.
I love Dandy
with Dave
so much.
Capville and Sweet Dandy in a call and me. You can't tell the difference between our voices, apparently. Yeah. It's
yeah,
crazy.
they all pretty much sound like Dave.
I wanted to say
Dave
something
sounds
like that at the
Dave.
start, but I didn't want to be rude.
God!
I'm back. What did I
hear
miss?
this from everybody.
Well-
Apparently, I sound like Dave still.
Sometimes.
You do.
Sometimes. Only whenever it's
Sometimes you sound
whenever
like
I
a
don't
bitch,
realize
but we
if
don't
I
talk
try
about this.
to, it doesn't work.
Go
my
in your
God.
corner and do your little Pinterest thing.
Oh yeah, I got to screen Pinterest. Wiki.
Huh?
I'm not going to tell you what's about to happen.
Okay. Oh no, I'm scared.
Alright, so for a second there, he actually sounds like Michael when he does his high,
I
know.
screaming.
God damn!
He is literally our Michael.
Isn't that great?
Oh my
Come on, Claire, saying you sound like Dandy.
I love Claire. Hi, Claire.
Can't win.
Oh shit, it's my turn, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, we're gonna put my hair up for this one. Huh.
Oh, jeez.
I gotta put my hair up.
Sorry, I have really thick hair and it's very, very hot in my room. Well, I guess to answer this, I'm very, very, very new to the streaming area, because obviously I don't do it on Twitch. I wanted to do it on Twitch really badly, but my PlayStation said no. So YouTube is where I'm at the moment, but really for me, since I'm so new to streaming, it's more like my interactions in Discord have really done it for me. Because even before my art started to get somewhere, it was like I had to go into voice chats with people I didn't even know to like moderate and things like that. And I met a lot of new people. Like that's how I met Saucy. Like I met him in the adult chat on the Honeycord.
Yep.
And like just a bunch of these other cool people. Like can't think of anybody else off the top of my head, but I really do think Discord is my platform to really, make a difference. Because there's been a lot of people that have come and gone on this app for me. I've been here for a couple years now. But it's really gotten me to, speak with different people and get to know different people and, like, make art for people that want to see it. And then at one point I was like, you know what, I'm going to make a Twitter. And then I made the Twitter, and it went to shit for a very long time. But after I kept trying and trying and trying, things got better. And, like, people from Discord who I'd met way before helped me out with that. And, like, those people are kind of the reason why I do what I do, because it makes them happy. And it makes me happy. It's like what Wiki was saying earlier. I do these things because it makes people happy. It makes their day. And that's really all I could ask to do about what I do. You have to take a shot every time I say do, but I really do enjoy the art that I provide and the experiences I've gotten to have on both Discord and Twitter, and hopefully more experiences on YouTube the more I stream, or Twitch when I start getting to that.
Yeah. It's awesome. And you can see it's like we all have like a different way of looking at things, but also there's a similar theme that runs underneath of it. And I'm talking about everybody in here, all five of us.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting the ties that bind, I guess.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Something to admire.
Yeah, because even when I had the idea for doing this, it was basically brought up when I think the catalyst for getting me started on this is when the fire started over here in California, and Ashley was unfortunately forced to evacuate from her home that she, like, the month before she just moved into. And I think it was like the day after. Yeah, I think it was the day after she posted the video. It was like, so we're getting evacuated, and like, all right, gotta keep an eye on that. Hope she's doing all right. Later in the day, as I'm at work, I see she posts something on Twitter. It's like, haha, has been hell with lots of fire. Oh, there's lots of fire in the house. All those jokes.
I got so mad. I straight up argued with somebody in the comments for like 30 minutes, eventually just giving up. I was like, and it's like, I was so angry.
Yeah, for me, I was just like, yeah, it's one thing for her to make a joke, and it was kind of funny, the joke she made where she referenced like the post she made like a day or two before, act like me in the comments and all that, and then it's like, I guess something about her being roasted. But it's, for me, I'm just like, yeah, what she posted was funny, but let's actually try to help her out with that, because losing a home that you had just gotten into, that shit ain't easy. And I lived in California my entire life. I'm no stranger to wildfires. I was, breathing all the freaking smoke from the campfire a couple years ago. It's just as bad now as it was then. I said a couple weeks ago it was getting better. Unfortunately, I was wrong. The smoke has gotten so much worse. But yeah, I'm sitting here and I'm just like, how am I going to be able to help all those people? Like, as great as it could be to help them laugh, there's still people that are dealing with loss. There was somebody I'd seen just lost their house due to an electrical fire. They can't even find their cat anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that post too. I shared that post around, and that's all you can do. If you can't afford it, and if you're not a close enough friend to joke about it with them, because that's the only time that you should be able to, is if you're a close enough friend and you think that it's okay to. Then what you should do is just share the word.
Yeah.
Even if you have only a small following, sharing the word just gets it out there. More people see it, and you don't know. You might have that one person in your following that has the financial ability to help.
Yeah, it's like
Yep.
a couple weeks ago, my interview with Chris and Crystal was basically in the interest of trying to get more people to donate into the GoFundMe for Chris. Because go figure, lung transplants are fucking expensive.
No way.
So like even though it was 2 weeks before that, I was doing my 24-hour stream. Just going through the entire night, going through all these different games that I played, through that full 24 hours, and saying, "Hey guys, I'm doing this stream for charity. Here's the link to my stream. I'm doing that. Check it out if you can, because there's more information there." And to anybody that did tune in through the night, I'm just like, the picture in my Twitch channel description is a link to the GoFundMe. If you can, $1 or $2 is still very much appreciated. And if you can't donate anything regardless, share the link, because you might know someone who can donate something. So I should probably point out, even for this particular stream, I have a link to that GoFundMe in the description of this video / stream.
Yes,
so the option is still there.
Yeah. In terms of that, just because I know a lot of people in the medical field, and also my field is closely related to that. There are a lot of aftercare fees and like extended stuff that goes along with that, whether it be medication, whether it be housing. I know for a while they were in sterile housing. Anything you can do helps with that, and it's still going. So please, if you can, just donate.
Especially since like voice acting isn't exactly a lucrative business, despite what most people think.
100%. No, yeah.
Anything helps, and like it's like having a dear friend go through something like that.
Ooh.
It really I haven't said this anywhere else, but it really does hurt. It does hurt to watch Chris go through all this shit.
So Chris is such a good person.
He really is.
I don't know him that well. I don't even know Crystal that well. But it's just like every single time I've had any kind of engagement or just interaction with either of them, they've always been so kind and just so happy-go-lucky for everything that they've been going through, that it's just like, he doesn't deserve this.
They made one thing interesting. They made one thing clear to me that I found very interesting, is a lot of the questions that I had asked, they had never gotten before in other like Q&A sessions. And I'm sitting here, I'm just like, how has nobody asked these kind of questions of them in anything else? And I'm just like, how? I'm hoping I'm not the only one that's done something like this before. So for me, I'm just like, I love the both of them, because in talking with them, I realized that they're willing to acknowledge their own flaws, and it's something you don't see a lot of people doing these days. Because oftentimes, not that everybody's on the same level as like an addict or anything, but typically when it comes to somebody who needs to go through rehab, they have to acknowledge that they need it first. Otherwise, all they're doing is just people pleasing, and it doesn't actually have any effect. They have to want to, change. And I think that same principle applies to just being people in general. If you acknowledge you have a flaw, acknowledge it and actually do something about it. Because there's all kinds of things that can go wrong from just ignoring it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my main thing, is just like showing that we all have flaws. Like ourselves, voice actors are no different. Animators and artists are no different. So why pile on top of all of that more bullshit of like, hey, you didn't do my commission correctly, I want my money back and all that. And like, because I've heard stories like that before.
Well, let's get into that can of worms.
Well, we don't really have time to get into that one.
No.
It's against my terms of service. If you ask for corrections a certain amount in, I charge extra.
So it goes into my last question for this stream is what kind of like advice can you guys give to people who are like, whether it's being an artist, being a voice actor, whatever your field is, or just I should have extended this part of the question to Krystal and Chris last time, but like even advice in just being people in general.
Ooh. Okay. Which order do we want to go in this? Up or down?
Whatever.
Okay, we'll go down. Go ahead, Luigi.
Just repeat the question for me. I kind of spaced.
Just advice that you think would be beneficial to anyone listening, whether it's being in your kind of creative field or just being a person in general.
My advice is to be patient in this kind of creative field, especially like with your own content that you make. I can't express how many times I've had to speak to some of my closest friends that they're having a hard time and they want to give up on what they love doing. And every time I've had to tell them, hey, it gets better. You just need to you need to push sometimes. And that's with pretty much anything. If it's not going to be successful at first, and that's okay. It's trial and error. That's all this industry is.
Yep.
And then one day you'll finally land something and you'll be super proud of it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Just embrace the little shit, and then when you get up to something huge, then you'll appreciate it a lot more than you would have had you given up on what you love.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's basically the advice.
Very posh.
My biggest advice, I find myself giving this a lot, and I need to learn to take it myself too, because this is just something that I still need to learn for myself. Don't feel bad if you mess up. You're gonna mess up. That's just a part of life. If you do, learn from your mistakes and move forward a little bit stronger and a little bit smarter. But just because you messed up doesn't mean it's the end of the world. It just means that you're incredibly human. And if you don't get that part that you wanted, if you didn't get a lot of commissions that week, whatever happened to make you feel like maybe a little bit more depressed about, whatever you're trying to pursue, just remember, kind of like going off of what Luigi said is, you have to push forward. You have to keep going. Nothing is ever set in stone, and Rome wasn't built in a day.
Yeah. I have two things. One is for everyone listening, regardless of whatever field they're in, whatever creative devices they really go into the most, and the other one's VA specific. The first one is everybody, regardless of what situation you're in or your family's in or whatever, whether you're at a dead-end job that you really just want to get out of and you're striving, you're pushing forward to that, or you're kind of settled into a career where you feel like this is my place, this is whatever, but also extending into the relationships as well that you have within those. Learn. Take every single day as you are going to try to improve yourself. You're going to try to learn something different, and you are going to take it with you. Regardless of how shitty it is, you try to better yourself and to learn along the way. Specifically VA centric, they're really, you may have the idea, it's like, oh, I'm an aspiring this, aspiring that. You gotta do it. I mean, if you're listening to this right now, odds are you'll be able to just start cracking away whatever you use. You can start off on $5 Amazon mic like I did back in the day, or a laptop microphone. It doesn't matter. You just gotta start working at it. You take acting lessons if you really are financially available to do that. Take classes in your high school, your college on theater and performance and stuff like that, because that's really what it's about. It's not about the kooky quacky voices. It's about acting and being able to pursue that. And if it makes you happy, even more so, just keep pushing at it. You are a voice actor. You are valid. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. So, one of my biggest things, like one of the biggest pieces of advice I can give is to, something I still struggle with as an artist, do not compare yourself to others. I find myself comparing my art to somebody who's been doing it longer than I have or shorter than I have. And my partner constantly has to correct me, and they're like, your art isn't worse than theirs. You just have different styles of art. That's it. That's all. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm just like, you're right. It's just different. That's all there is to it. So don't compare yourself to others. I know it's really hard to just be like, man, I wish I was where they are now, but the only thing that you should be comparing yourself to is you yesterday. That's it. Also, I wrote down a couple things because my brain was gonna forget them if I didn't. Keep pushing forward. Like, no matter what, I know, like, the patience, what Mama Luigi said is something that's very important. I know you're gonna want it right now. You're gonna want it right now, and it's not happening fast enough. But you have to take it slow. It just doesn't happen in a week, a month, however long it takes. If this is something you're super passionate about and you want, you have to be patient about it. I have a tendency now, still, where I am now, to be like, man, commissions are super slow this month and I suck and blah, blah, blah. And I just beat myself down. It literally happened the other day because I got up in my head about how not a lot of people have been showing up to my streams lately. And I'm just like, what did I do wrong? And my friends were like, nothing. People just haven't been able to show up, and that's fine. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. Another thing I want to touch on is, like, what Posh said. Like, mistakes happen. We're all human. They're gonna happen. Don't beat yourself up over them, please. Because I fall into it, and it's not a good headspace. We're all human. Things happen, and you just got to keep going. Take breaks if you need to. Something that's super important. Like, please, 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 please. I need to stop being such a hypocrite, but please take breaks if you need to.
She does not practice what she preaches.
I don't. I literally had Pluvio message me yesterday and be like, Wiki, are you okay? You just spat out like 5 art pieces. Did you take breaks? And I'm like, haha, nope. And it's just like, you gotta know. My problem is getting into the mindset of, oh, their commission's taking too long. And it's like, they understand. You need to take breaks sometimes. First of all, we're on lockdown still, and like 2020's been crazy, and things are happening, and personal life is a thing, and I know you got to try to keep it, professional, or you're like, oh, well, I have to, be happy all the time. No, take breaks. Take as long as you need. Honestly, if you need a week, take a week. If you need a month, take a month. Do what you can. That's all that matters. Self-care is super important. Because I know that if I'm feeling poopy and I sit down and I draw, that art piece is going to look like crap because I didn't try, because I just felt like garbage and I didn't want to do it. So, please take breaks. Your mental health and your health in general is so important. So important. And I feel like a lot of people just don't give themselves enough time to sit back and do something for themselves. They're always focused on doing it for other people. Do it for you. Do it for you. You gotta do it for you. But that's about it. That's all I've got.
And people rewind this video to the start of when I, started asking for the advice, and write all this down if you have to. just so you don't forget it,
Mhm.
because this is all like incredibly important advice to remember, at least for the sake of making sure you can continue on.
Oh,
Exactly.
Yeah.
yeah.
So I think that's all I had for this. Sorry, sorry, you guys. This went so much longer than I expected. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for
We
having
did go
us.
off the rails. a
No,
couple
it was fun. I've honestly been wanting to talk about a lot of what we touched on today. So
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I really appreciate you guys being on to talk about all of this, because I feel a lot of this is really important for a lot of people to hear.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
I want to make sure as many people hear this as I can possibly make sure hear it. I could have worded that better, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you. Thank all four of you for joining me for this stream. Even if it did start a little bit late, we got done what I set out to accomplish with this.
Mhm.
Your time is very much appreciated, you guys. And I'm glad we talked about all this today.
Thank you for having us.
Oh,
Seriously.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you.
Absolutely.
I was so giddy when you reached out to me. I was like, of course I'll do that.
Well, I guess I know I'm doing something right with this. Just getting people to talk about it, and we'll see. I guess we'll see how effective all this is later on down the line.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
Takes time.
Yep.
Yep.
It does.
So thank you all again. I hope everybody watching learned as much as I did from this, because there's still a few things that I've heard out of this that I hadn't quite heard. From many others, if anyone. So, yeah, I know I'm definitely learning something from this. I hope everybody else is. So look forward. I hope you're all looking forward to seeing more of this, because I intend to keep going with this goal of talking with people in the creative industry, in the hopes of learning of seeing more experiences, and hopefully learning something new every time. And I intend to keep pushing forward with that. So keep an eye on this, you guys. We'll see how much we can learn just from listening to Gab Hominem. So thank you all for
Yeah.
watching. Thank you guys for joining me.
Anytime.
Yep.
Anytime. Thank you.
Thanks for having
Thank
us.
you.
Yep. But otherwise, I hope you guys all have a good night. And we'll see you all next time.
Woo.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.